Hello YouTube, this video will walk you through the steps on how to add additional register worksheets to the Excel checkbook. The process will likely take you about 10 minutes, and hopefully you'll also learn a few tips and tricks in Excel during the process. Before we start, it's super important that you have a version that was downloaded in April 2026 or later. You can tell that if your checkbook's reconcile feature looks like this. So here I have the 2026 version, and when I click on that orange button, the reconcile rows will look like this with lines for withdrawals not cleared, deposits not cleared, and difference. And if you have the 2025 version, it was also updated in April 2026 to have that same sort of reconcile screen. So it will look identical in this regard. However, the 2025 version doesn't have all the features of the 2026. And you can learn more about the 2026 version at my website. Now, an overview of the steps includes you'll copy an existing register, you'll rename it and also rename the table on the worksheet. You'll visit the Name Manager function to make a new entry. You'll fix a few formula references on the new register worksheet. You'll add a new row to the settings worksheet. And finally, you'll visit Excel's Power Query to add a new entry for the new register. All right, now when you go to do this process, it's probably easiest if you happen to have a register worksheet that's either empty or has very little data in it, as when you go to copy an existing register, it is going to copy all the data on that register worksheet. So as an example, I might choose this third register for my example, and I'll start by doing a right click on that register worksheet, that green tab, and I'll go to the move or copy choice. And then next I need to decide, well, where would I like this copy to go? So Excel is asking me, where should it go? Before what sheet would I like it to be? I'll just, for the sake of this example, have it appear before the assets worksheet. And of course, it's super important that I click on the create a copy checkbox and then click OK. Now, while I didn't get this prompt, it might be possible that you'll see an extra prompt that appears telling you that there's already a categories list name definition or something else similar. And it'll ask if you'd like to go ahead and make a copy, and you might see a button for yes to all. If you happen to get that kind of a prompt, I do recommend just clicking yes to all. We'll be visiting the name manager here in a moment where we're going to do some cleanup. Now that I have a copy of one of the registers, the next step will be to rename it. And it's super important that we not yet give it its custom name that you might want later, but instead that we give it just the next register number in sequence. So if you already have the 2026 version with 12 registers, my first copy is now going to be register 13. So just figure out how many register worksheets you've got. Make sure that this next one is just next in line. So I have corrected that to be register 13. We're going to press the Enter key to go ahead and complete that rename. Now you will be able to rename this register worksheet in a little while, but for now we're just going to stick with the generic numbers. And next we need to correctly rename the table. So every register is based on an Excel table. So as long as your cursor is in one of these rows, you'll have a menu choice for table design. Visit table design, click your cursor up here in this box, and then make sure that this also is the next number in sequence. So in my case, register 13, and I'll press the Enter key. And after doing so, we're now going to visit the Formulas menu. Under the Formulas menu, you should find a button for the Name Manager. So we're going to click on that. And depending on what sort order your Name Manager screen appears, it might be in the alphabetic order of the name column. And in this case, I'm seeing that I've got 2 category list values and 2 date list values. And we do want to clean that up. Now, the fastest way is to sort these entries by this column called Scope. And in this way, all of these duplicate name entries for register 13 appear together. And I can click on this top entry, hold down my Shift key, and click on the last entry that has the scope of register 13. And we're going to delete those. We don't want those duplicates in here. All right, next we need to create a new Name Manager entry for the new register. So as you scroll through the list, look for an existing reg number name. It's close in sequence to your most recent copy. So for example, I'm going to make use of this reg 12 name, and the reference where it points to, I'm going to copy that to my clipboard just so it's far easier to type. So I'm just going to click my cursor down there and then click and hold down, highlight that text, right click, and copy it to my clipboard. Okay, next I'm going to click on the new button, and the name must be, in this case, Reg 13 name. So whatever next number is in sequence for your particular checkbook register worksheet. The refers to, I'm going to click my cursor down here. And now it's super important that you don't use your arrow keys at this point. In fact, if I do, you'll notice that it's changing the references down there. So I'm going to hit the F2 key on my keyboard. That actually turns off this arrow key mode of choosing self-references. I'm going to use my backspace key and just get rid of all that. And now I want to paste what's in my clipboard. So either Control V if I'm on a Windows computer, or I can also do the right click and choose paste. And we need this reference to not say register 12, we need to say register 13. So as long as I hit that F2 key a moment ago, I can safely use my arrow keys, and I'm going to backspace that and make it say register 13. Click OK. And what I should see as an end result is the next reg name in sequence, and it looks, like the others. It's just that the registered number is also changing. And I can click the close button. Now that might be one of the trickiest parts of this whole process. So if you need to, just rewind and review to get that right. Now here at the top of the register worksheet, there are some references to another number. In fact, because I copied register 3, it's referencing reg 3 name up in this formula for the today's balance, and also the future balance is referencing that. So we do want to make that correction. So I'll start with today's balance. And if I click my cursor just in front of that 3 in the reg name, I can just type a 1, hit the enter key, and it will have made that correction. Now don't worry that we're getting the # NA. We're going to fix that here in a moment, but I'm going to go to the next formula for future balance and do that same correction, changing it from reg 3 name to reg 13 name. Now just to briefly talk about what's going on here with these two formulas. This is for the today's balance formula. It is looking in the register 13 table at the balance column, and it's looking to match on a row that has today's date. In other words, so it's going to be looking for the last entry in the register with today's date, and it's going to multiply it by a value that's going to be looking up in the setup table, which we'll go to next. All right, so I'm going to go visit the settings table. And by the way, a quick tip: you've got, of course, the left and right arrow keys to navigate around here. You can hold down your Control key and click those arrows, and it's a great way to quickly jump through the many lists of worksheets. Okay, to the settings worksheet we go. Okay, now we need to add a new row here in this listing right here. And just because I like to see the spacing retained, before I go and expand this table here, what I'm going to do is just highlight those cells right there, do a right click, and then tell it to insert, and I want it to shift the cells down. So I'm highlighted those several rows, or excuse me, those several cells, and I'm going to click to have it shift those cells down, and that just gives me a little bit extra room there. Okay, then depending on whether you're on a Windows computer versus a Mac computer, the Mac computer version of Excel does not have the resize table option that we have under the table design menu. Windows version does, but for both Mac and Windows, you can actually grab this little corner there. So as long as I see that double black arrow, I can click, hold down, just drag it down one more row, and that has expanded that table to have an additional row. All right, so we're going to just continue on with the same sort of format or sequence that's here. So you notice that, for example, these all say, Reg 11 name, Reg 12 name. So we want to repeat that by typing in equals Reg 13 name, and then will this be a asset or liability register? I'll just go ahead and default it to asset. And here we've got a formula that's referencing register 12, and of course we need one that will be referencing register 13. So I'm just going to click my mouse up there, highlight all that text, copy it to my clipboard, and then I'm going to press the escape key just to make sure I'm not in formula editing mode. So again, I'm going to press the escape key, click down here, and here in the formula bar, I will do a paste and change that reference to be 13 instead of 12 and hit my enter key. Now the number of transactions is also another formula. We're just counting the number of date entries in the register. I'm going to repeat that sort of the same sort of thing. So I'm going to click up here, highlight that text, copy to my clipboard, press my escape key, click down here, and then do my paste up there, making that change also to say register 13 instead of register 12. Okay, after doing that, we're going to go and jump back to the new 13th register, and we should see that those errors are gone, and we have correctly got the Reg 13 name that's there. All right, next we need to visit a worksheet that's at the far right side of the checkbook spreadsheet. So I'm going to hold down my control key and click this arrow as a fast way to get to the worksheets here at the end. And there's a worksheet called All Registers. And there's just a very simple little list down here. It's in the A column. Currently, it's just got these 12 entries in here. And we also need to do the same thing where we're going to expand this one. Now I'm finding that I don't, okay, there's that little black arrow. And I'm just going to grab it and grow it down by 1. Now I happen to have duplicated the entry of Reg 1 name, and I'm just going to click, put in 13 to make sure it's got those in sequence. Now, after having done that, of course, I'm at the point now where I could safely rename this register. So as an example, let's say that it's a Wells Fargo account. So I just put that in as a quick example. And if I were to, go visit this All Registers, that's reflected there. So what is this list all about? Well, anytime you make use of, let's say, the transfer feature, where it wants to know what register are you withdrawing from or depositing to, it is going to be referencing that small little table we just saw on the All Register sheet. All right, now our final step will be to visit Excel's Power Query. If you happen to be on the Mac version of Excel, it is important that you have at least Excel version 2021 in order to complete this final step. Now, the visit to the Excel Power Query is important so that the dashboard and reports will be correctly showing this new register as an available register to filter on for either the dashboard or the report screen. And just to help demonstrate that this is going to function correctly, I'm going to visit this new register worksheet that I happen to call Wells Fargo, and I'm going to put in just a pretend entry, perhaps to the grocery store, and just quickly again put in an entry there because we want to test to make sure this is going to work. So as this quick example of where I've put in this new entry to the register, if I were to for example, visit the reports or the dashboard, click on that refresh data button, I'm going to find that this new register is not going to appear in the list of registers. So here's how we go fix that. We're going to go to the data menu. Under the Get Data button, we want to launch the Power Query Editor. The Power Query Editor will open up in its own separate window, and in here we'll see all of the registers listed along with an entry called All Registers. So the reason we have Excel Power Query is it's a powerful way to combine all the registers into one large table so that the dashboard and reports can function and see all of the data. So we now need a new choice for register 12. So I'm going to do a right click on register 12 and choose the duplicate choice. Okay, so here's my duplicate. It called it register 12 and then in parentheses number 2. And over here on the right side of the screen, I'm going to click where it's got the name, use my backspace key, make it register 13. Now notice that I'm still using the official register name and numbers, not Wells Fargo. So it's important that we do have just these numeric register names. And then we need to go visit the source choice. Now you might have to click on that more than once, but if you successfully clicked on the source choice, there's a reference up here for which named register it is. I'm gonna click up there and correct that to say register 13, and then just kind of click somewhere else on the screen, and it does a quick look to see if it can read that particular register. And notice it does have my new sample entry that I put in there for Kroger's. The last step is under all registers, and there's a choice for source for the all registers. And so it's showing that it's combining all these different tables. And there's a little drop down arrow right there that I recommend using because it makes it easier to do this edit. And you'll see that it's listing all the registers that are there. I'm going to click my cursor after the last one and just continue that same kind of syntax. So this will be register 13. And then I'm going to just kind of click away somewhere else to have it go and examine things. So our all registers table now has all of them, and I'll click this close load button. And what we'll find is that it now has my new Wells Fargo as an available choice. If you happen to have the side panel appear, you can safely close that. All right, well, I know that was a lot of steps to get a register, and I hope you can appreciate there's quite a bit of complexity involved, but I hope that was helpful, and thank you for watching.